The informant cautiously followed Laura, determined to achieve great things this time and proudly report to His Excellency the Duke. However, Laura's movements were also disappointing this time. This was because, after spending the day at the inn, the place Laura went to on her way out was a small antique store. Unlike the inn, which was full of drunk customers, it was a small shop with few customers, so he couldn't go in to see what was going on. Luckily, he didn't give up and continued to look through the window of the store's door, to see that Laura had received a small package wrapped in paper from the owner. And that was the end of Laura's journey. This was because the next morning, he rented a carriage to return to the Duke's house. His report to Duke Roderick was brief, as if his promise to discover the hideout of the heinous traitor Byron and return proudly was meaningless. "I am ashamed, Your Excellency. There is nothing we can do." "Don't worry, you did the best you could." Roderick responded with a blank expression. It wasn't that he had lost sight of Laura, and what could he do if she hadn't done anything special? Even if the informant had missed her, he had no intention of writing a story because he had been told to prioritize not getting caught. "Shall we investigate a little about the antiquities, Your Excellency?" "No, it's okay. If the owner of that shop is from Byron's people, it will only arouse unnecessary suspicion. You must have had a hard time following her all this time. Why don't you take a few days off?" Roderick sent the knight back, who seemed ready to kneel, and reviewed the report he had delivered once more. He had received something from a small antique store. There was nothing particularly suspicious in Laura's luggage when she returned. Following Noah's birth and Isla's return, security was tightened, requiring everyone entering the mansion to undergo strict screening. They even inspected his belongings and searched his person for anything hidden. However, the gentleman in charge of Laura's inspection reported that he had found nothing of note. "I'll have to go see Isla tonight and ask her what that thing was that Laura brought from the antique store." Roderick thought about this, put the report in a drawer and locked it. He was worried that another spy would discover that he was spying on Laura. Efforts were also being made behind the scenes to catch those other spies, but caution needed to be exercised until they were all eliminated. Phew. He sighed deeply. He didn't understand why he had to worry about enemy stares even in his own space where he should have been more comfortable. He just hoped all of this would pass quickly. "Is your mother feeling better?" "I was worried, but seeing you back so early, it doesn't seem like anything serious, which is a relief." Lisa smiled softly and welcomed Laura to the mansion. "Stop pretending that you have bad luck and you are good. Take care of yourself. Why do you pretend to know something when you don't? It's annoying." Laura swallowed the words she could never say out loud and smiled brightly, as if expressing gratitude for the concern. "You must have had a hard time while I was away, miss." "I'm sorry. Now that I'm back, how about you rest early today?" "No, what was the problem?" "I was comfortable thanks to everyone's help." Laura's intention was to send Lisa away and leave her alone with Isla, but Lisa, who had no idea she had such a dark ulterior motive, waved her hand and refused. "You have no idea." Laura sighed deeply, frustrated. She felt nothing more than the need to get Lisa out of her sight, as she constantly irritated her and prevented her from working. It seemed like it was Lisa's fault that Isla, who had been so brainwashed into supporting her, had become so weak. Wouldn't it be because Lisa was always by her side and kept giving her useless compliments that this girl, who previously listened to her obediently, ended up like this? Laura barely suppressed the urge to yell at Lisa and gave her a determined look. It was a plea for him to do something with Lisa. "Yes, Lisa. You can go rest for today." And Isla, who wanted to hear Laura's story as soon as possible, quickly intervened. "I suppose so? Well, you haven't seen Laura in a few days, so I guess you need to spend some time with her." "Then I'm leaving." Lisa smiled sadly and said goodbye before returning to her room. Alone with Laura, Isla asked with an anxious expression. What happened? Were you able to speak directly to my father? You put me through so much trouble that I didn't have to. Is that all you have to say? I guess you've been feeling a lot better since I've been away for a few days. Your face looks much better. Laura crossed her arms and looked at her with a cold expression. Isla, not wanting to get into an unnecessary war of nerves with Laura, simply said what she wanted. I'm very sorry and I thank you. It's all thanks to you. You. No, I can't do anything without you. You always say that. You always take care of Miss Lisa. Despite Isla's praise, Laura continued to stare at her. That's it. The Duke and Duchess asked me to take good care of the daughter of the benefactor who found the princess. You know that, right? As Isla suppressed her growing irritation and tried to please Laura, Laura finally shrugged her shoulders, as if she was a little satisfied, took out a small hand mirror from her chest and handed it to her. What is this? It is a magical communication tool that allows you to communicate at a distance. It's incredibly rare, and you can't find it anywhere even if you wanted to. But since you wanted to see my master, he gave you special permission to use it. Why are you making such a fuss about something that isn't even yours? Isla was surprised by Laura's attitude, but it was a curious object, so she accepted it cautiously. Even in the Palace Empire, this magical tool was so rare that only a few people had seen it, let alone knew of its existence. Thanks to that, Laura was able to pass the security check without problems. How is it used? Is this the operation button? Isla was looking through the magical tools when she found a round button and tried to press it, but Laura grabbed her wrist urgently and stopped her. Not now. The days are getting longer, so there is still light. Someone unexpected could show up. Everyone, you should get up early. Yeah. That's when Isla nodded and took good care of her hand mirror. A knock on the door announced an unexpected visitor. Startled, Laura quickly motioned for Isla to put the mirror away. Who is it? It's me, miss. The voice that came from the other side of the door was none other than that of the butler Lester. What's happening? Oh, the teacher called Laura. They said she was here, so I came to look for her. His Excellency the Duke, me? Laura blinked, her eyes wide with confusion. Ophelia had called her several times, but this was the first time she had heard Roderick call her. Because of this, Laura, nervous, had to think about tens of thousands of things in such a short time, if her identity had been discovered, if there had been some mistake. No, I don't think I made any mistakes. But no matter how much she thought about it, she couldn't find anything that caught her, so she was confused. Yes, why don't you hurry up? His Excellency awaits you. Oh, yes. I'll go quickly. When Lester urged her again, Laura didn't have time to think about anything else and had to go find Roderick. Isla stared blankly at the scene. After seeing similar situations over and over again, I had a rough idea of what was happening. Then I'm leaving now, miss. And as if to confirm his assumption, Lester opened one eye and closed it with a kind smile. Shortly after Laura and the butler left, there was a noise from inside the wall, and the secret arch creaked open, and Ophelia entered. Mother, welcome. As Isla greeted her with a smile, Ophelia frowned and sat down next to her daughter. You're not even surprised anymore. No, I was a little surprised. My mother always called Laura and my father came into the room, but today it was the other way around. Isla covered her mouth and chuckled, as if the situation amused her. Then, Ophelia explained the situation calmly. Like you said, I always called Laura. I changed it because I was worried that the girl would become suspicious if the situation repeated itself. By the way, aren't you waiting for your father to come instead of me? It seems like father and daughter have become a lot closer lately. You train together every morning, and it seems like you only misbehave in front of your father." Ophelia pretended to be upset, saying she felt left out. "That's why I drink tea with my mother every day. I also go to see Noah often. I love you so much, and yet you say things like that." And then, as if to calm her anger, Isla pouted and growled, feigning resentment. He joked about his mother's joke. "That? You are something that doesn't exist, right, my daughter?" Ophelia laughed happily and pretended to pinch his nose. When she came to this house, Isla had always been very shy, but now she seemed to have become very animated and even knew how to joke around, which made Ophelia feel good.